The sun had barely risen over the quiet countryside when a frail, mud-covered dog stumbled into the backyard of a small farmhouse. Her ribs were visible beneath her golden fur, her paws bleeding, and her breathing heavy as if she had been running for miles. She stopped near the old wooden porch, lay down trembling, and began to whimper softly, the kind of cry that breaks through even the toughest heart. Inside the house, a young woman named Marissa Blake, a newly graduated veterinarian living alone on her family's farm, heard the faint cries and rushed outside barefoot. When she saw the poor creature collapsed near the porch, she gasped. The dog was in labor. Without a second thought, Marissa scooped her up into her arms and ran inside, wrapping her in blankets. "It's okay, sweetheart," she whispered, her voice trembling. "You're safe now. I've got you." The dog's eyes flickered weakly, full of pain but also trust, as if she somehow knew she had found the right person at the right moment. If you believe that kindness and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our W Insights. Your support helps spread more stories of compassion that the world needs right now. Marissa stayed beside the dog for hours, helping her through the delivery. The rain started outside, tapping gently on the roof as new life entered the world. One by one, the puppies arrived, tiny, squealing, and fragile. But as Marissa cleaned them and placed them beside their mother, something strange caught her attention. Each puppy had unusual, shimmering silver streaks running through their fur, unlike anything she'd seen before. Their eyes, though still sealed shut, reflected light in a peculiar way, almost glowing. Marissa frowned in confusion. "That's odd," she murmured. She had delivered dozens of litters before during her training, but these puppies were different. Still, she told herself it might just be a genetic quirk or pigmentation anomaly. She wrapped them gently and ensured the mother was stable before calling her clinic. 2 hours later, her mentor, Dr. Samuel Price, an experienced veterinarian who had seen nearly everything in his 30 years, arrived in his old green truck. The man stepped into the room, took one look at the puppies, and froze. His expression shifted from curiosity to disbelief. "Marissa, where did this dog come from?" he asked quietly. Marissa explained how the mother had appeared out of nowhere, exhausted and starving. Dr. Price leaned in closer, lifting one of the puppies with gloved hands. He turned it slightly under the light, and that's when his face drained of color. "These aren't normal puppies," he whispered. Marissa felt a chill. "What do you mean?" Dr. Price hesitated before speaking again. "They have a rare condition called leucistic mutation, but this level of pigmentation patterning is unnatural. I've only read about something similar once. It's genetic, but it usually doesn't appear in domestic dogs. More like wolves." "Wolves?" Marissa's eyes widened. She glanced at the mother dog, who lay there weak but peaceful. "You're saying she's part wolf?" "Maybe more than part," he replied. "If this is true, she's incredibly rare." But if someone was breeding hybrids illegally, his voice trailed off. The thought hit Marissa hard. Someone had used this poor creature for experiments. That explained her scars, her thin frame, and the fear in her eyes. She had escaped from something terrible, and now she'd brought her babies into a world where danger still lurked. Over the next few days, Marissa devoted every minute to caring for the mother, whom she named Luna, and her 6 unusual pups. She built a soft pen in her living room, fed Luna warm broth and vitamins, and kept the puppies under a heating lamp. Slowly, Luna began to regain her strength. She would nuzzle Marissa's hand and lick her wrist every time she brought food, as if saying thank you. But the peace didn't last long. One night, as Marissa was closing the barn door, she noticed headlights in the distance, 2 black SUVs parked near the forest edge. Her heart began to race. No one ever came out here this late. Then she saw figures stepping out, flashlights cutting through the dark. One of them shouted, "Search the perimeter." She couldn't have gone far. Marissa ducked behind the barn, her breath catching in her throat. They were looking for Luna. Whoever these men were, they weren't rescuers, they were hunters, the kind that dealt in illegal breeding and animal trafficking. Terrified but determined, Marissa ran back inside. Luna was alert, sensing danger. "It's okay," Marissa whispered, her hands shaking. "I won't let them take you. That night was chaos. The men approached the farmhouse, knocking on the door, pretending to be from animal control. Marissa stalled them, claiming she hadn't seen any stray animals. But through the crack of the door, she could see one man holding a tranquilizer gun. She knew then they were lying. She had no choice. She packed Luna and her pups in a crate, loaded them into her truck, and drove into the forest under the cover of night. The road was bumpy, her headlights cutting through fog. Luna whined softly in the back, while Marissa's heart pounded like a drum. She didn't know where she was going, only that she had to keep them safe. After hours of driving, she reached an old ranger cabin deep in the woods, a place her father once used when he worked in forestry. It was abandoned but sturdy. She set up a temporary shelter inside and called Dr. Price, explaining everything. He was shocked but supportive. "Stay put," he said. "I'll bring help. You did the right thing." Days passed. Luna grew stronger, and the puppies opened their eyes, striking silver and gold hues that glowed in sunlight. They played clumsily, biting each other's ears and tumbling in the grass outside the cabin. Marissa would laugh and cry watching them. It felt like witnessing something magical, life blooming out of pain and fear. But fate wasn't done testing her. One morning, while gathering water from the creek, Marissa heard engines again. The men had found her. She froze as they approached the cabin. She ran back just in time to see one of them breaking the door open. "Grab the animals," one shouted. Marissa didn't think twice. She stood between the men and Luna, holding a shovel defensively. "You're not taking them," she yelled. But the man laughed and shoved her aside. Luna, sensing the threat, suddenly growled a deep, wild growl that echoed through the trees. Then something unbelievable happened. As one man reached for the crate, the puppies began to howl in unison. The sound was haunting, powerful, and from the woods around them came answering howls. Within moments, shadows emerged from the tree-lean real wolves, surrounding the men. Panic erupted. The men stumbled back, shouting and firing tranquilizers, but the wolves didn't attack, they only stood guard, growling fiercely. It was as if they knew Luna, as if they were protecting one of their own.